Hello, my name's Zimmaron, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so blessed and grateful to have you be a part of this journey that I'm on as well, which is actually just bringing to you everything that I have, everything that I've learned, everything that I've experienced, everything that I have implemented and am implementing in my life so that I can live at 100% in all areas of my life. And hopefully you are looking to do the same, because who doesn't want to live at 100%, whether it's with your relationships, your job, your businesses, your practices, your home life, your spouse, your family, every single aspect of our lives impact us in one way, shape, or form. Everything's all one. Everything's all interconnected. At least that's my belief and my experience. But after having lived in an ashram for almost 20 years and walked with various spiritual masters and trained with NLP practitioners and hypnotherapists and counselors and done literally thousands of hours worth of counseling and healing and all sorts of different modalities over the past 47 years of my life, I can truly say that there's only one true key that unlocks your entire existence and allows you to live as who you truly are. And not only that, allows you to be able to accelerate your unfoldment and your entire existence in all areas of your life, bar none. It's not conjecture, it's not a theory, it's not whatever. There's only one key, and it's literally the only way to truly be able to become who you truly are and to live in this world in true peace, true happiness, true joy. Everything else is a subset of this, or leading you down the wrong path, the path of pain, the path of suffering, the path of depression and anxiety and not living the ultimate fulfilled life. Now, this one key, this one principle alone will allow you to be able to deconstruct your whole entire existence in a very practical way so that you can look at your past, look at your present, and be able to not only deconstruct it and understand why you create and why certain things happen to you and why you react in certain ways and all of that sort of stuff, but to also be able to literally recongeal and sculpt your reality moving forward. In other words, you have 100% control and ability to live at your true 100% potential that's available to you all the time. Okay, the only reason why we don't live at our full potential is because of this. Okay, and also because of our emotional bodies and all the different aspects that I'll get into, maybe not in this video, but in future videos, where I'll get into more details about this one particular principle, this one thing that is the keystone in the dam, and it's literally the solution to not only all the world's problems, but also to all of your problems and all the reasons why you don't feel good about yourself when you don't feel like you're up for something, when you don't feel like you're good enough. We've grown up and we were born on this planet pure, fairly much, fairly much pure. We're born as unconditional love. And as we received conditional love growing up, we internalized that and used that against ourselves. You imagine yourself as an innocent little child, and you start receiving conditional love from your parents, from your primary caretakers, whoever it is. The only place that that child has, and the only way that that child can process that is that there's something wrong with me. Because that child came from love, right? Came from spirit, from wherever you want to label it, from wherever that soul came from. It embodies on the physical planet, embodies in this reality, and now all of a sudden it's starting to experience conditional love. Its needs aren't being met. It doesn't know how to rationalize and process and understand that maybe its primary caretakers are having a rough day, or unable to process and unable to understand that this world, is way out of balance, and that people are literally slaves to their minds, slaves to society, victims to their surroundings and everything that's happening around them. Right? So what does that child do? The child internalizes it against themselves and says, well, since everything's God, everything else is universe and infallible, and I'm now all of a sudden in this experience of non-love, there must be something wrong with me. And that is the original sin. The original sin is the moment that child believes that there's something wrong with them. Just think about that for a moment. Now, that child, from every moment moving forward, that child is now viewing the world from this lens of separation, a lens of I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, there's something wrong with me, I'm less than, I must be a bad person, blah, 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 blah. All these internalized projections onto self. And you imagine that now you've got this filter as a child. And now every single day of your life, moving forward, you have that filter now filtering everything that you experience, everything that you create, everything that you view. You're now looking at it from a lens of there's something wrong with me. I'm not complete. I'm not whole. I was born bad. I'm not lovable enough. Every single human being on this planet goes through that and has gone through that to various degrees. Now, how that plays out in our lives is dependent upon the individual. Some people fight back, and other people hide, other people freeze, people deal with these situations and circumstances. But if you're not living at 100% in all areas of your life, 100% of your full potential, most of which most people don't even realize what the full potential is, because most people don't even believe it's even possible for them, which is a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Everybody, every single human body on this planet is not only equal, but they all have the equal capabilities to be able to transcend any and all obstacles that are, or that they face, that they come across. Every single human being. It's just the way that the universe works. It's because we're all one and the same. We're all made up of exactly the same atoms, and electrons, protons, neutrons, the subatomic level. At the subatomic level, which makes up all of existence, all of creation, including this physical body. Science has already proved this stuff. Quantum physics has already proven this stuff. This is not conjecture. We're all one. We're the same energy that we can label as God, we can label it as the quantum field, we can label it as whatever we want to. It really doesn't matter. The truth is, it's one word only, and it's 4 letters. And those 4 letters, that word is the keystone in the dam. If you literally just focus every single thing that you do in your life based on this 4-letter word, you cannot go wrong. You can't ever go wrong. And the universe will actually help you, because you're going to be now in alignment with the universal energy, with that oneness, with that interconnectedness. That's how synchronicities happen. That's how miracles happen. That's how people are able to heal themselves of diseases and illnesses and things like that. We all know it's true. This is not conjecture. There's plenty of stories of people that have healed themselves of cancers and illnesses and diseases. There's plenty of stories of people that have been downtrodden, and it doesn't matter what color, what race, whoever they are, and they've been able to attain whatever it is that their purpose and their mission is in this planet, to the degree that they know what it is and understand what it is and whatever the construct is within their minds. So what is this 4-letter word? If you haven't already figured it out, it's actually very simple. It's love. That's it. Love. L-O-V-E. That's it. You focus on being loving instead of non-loving in each and every moment. And that love will guide you and will pull you through any and all situations and circumstances that you create in your life. It's as simple as that, literally. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's all airy-fairy utopian BS and all of that sort of stuff, and that's not reality. And it's easy to say when you're this and that and blah, 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 and all of this sort of stuff. And people start going through all these comparisons. Listen, wherever you're at right now, you're at because of the sum total of your experiences, your karma, the lessons that you needed to learn. There's so many factors into what make up your existence and your life as it is today. I don't care about any of that. None of that matters. It's in the past. But what you choose right now has a 100% impact on everything moving forward in your life. Every single aspect of your future is defined by the moment, by your thoughts, your beliefs, the filters that you have in place based on past trauma and your past history. So if you want to change your future, you have to change what's happening to you in the moment. So when you start understanding that every single choice you make is either loving or non-loving to yourself, loving to other people, etc., okay? If you understand that, then you now have the power to tap into the effulgence of who you are and what you were born to achieve and accomplish in this world. Because when you choose love, you're in alignment with the natural order of all of creation and all of existence, and the energy, that energy that runs through all of creation, that same energy. Once again, science has already proven all of this. You can look at Dr. Joe Dispenza's materials and books where he scientifically breaks down quantum mechanics and quantum physics and all of that sort of stuff. You know, you can look at a lot of other materials out there to verify that what I'm saying is true, and that science is proving that now. This is not conjecture. You know, what the Eastern philosophies have known for tens of thousands of years, actually much longer than that, you know, we're only just starting to discover in the Western world. And not only discover, but we're starting to verify what all these woo-woo, hippie, spiritual people have been touting for thousands of years. And that is that love is the power that heals. Love is the power that transcends. And if you think that that's all, again, hearts and flowers, woo-woo stuff, how do you apply that, you know, in your daily life, and how is that going to really, truly affect your life? Well, it does, dramatically. Because how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you feel and think about the world around you impacts every aspect of your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual bodies. Simply put, what would you rather feel and experience in your body right now? Would you rather feel and experience love? Or would you rather experience hate or fear, negativity, resentment, judgment, anger? None of those non-loving thoughts and or feelings have any benefit whatsoever to anybody other than one thing. It shows you where you're out of alignment. It shows you where you have strayed from the true essence of who you are. And when you're able to reverse engineer your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your physical conditions through the lens of love versus non-love, then you can literally transform your entire life. And then all of a sudden, you're now moved on a daily basis, and the universe is actually able to help work on your behalf, because the universe always works on your behalf, because it's an aspect of you. It's an aspect of who you are. This physical reality is a construct of consciousness, of thoughts, of, 8 to 9 billion people on this planet. And it gets more complicated than that, but it's actually, the truth of it is in the simplicity of it. Because all the other things, people can put their own spin on or whatever else. But the truth is that if you understand that you are literally God, and that you are made up of and consist of, and so is the rest of the world, is at the essence 100% pure love, the most ultimate feeling and sensation in the world. And I'm not talking about relationships. I'm not talking about relationships. I'm not talking about the human lust and love of another person and that romantic side of things. That's a different form of love. I'm talking about unconditional love. I'm talking about unconditional love for yourself. Unconditional love and compassion for everything around you, and realizing that everything that happens to me, not only did I 100% create, but it happened and is happening to teach me something about myself. If it's bad, or so-called bad, or if it's good, it's a celebration and reward for me being who I am. Okay? So if you're creating things in your life that are bad or not that great or make you feel less than who you truly are as love, then that's an invitation, okay? It's a warning sign, okay? It's an invitation for you to look at what's going on. Why is this happening? Why did I create this? What is the gift and the blessing? You see, everything in all of creation and in our entire existence, everything that happens to us is always a gift and a blessing. And if you are able to see the gift, then you'll receive the blessing. And on top of that, the blessing is usually that you're not going to need to recreate that same situation. You know, because so many of us live in this mouse wheel of repetitiveness. You know, we keep creating bad relationships. We keep creating, certain types of situations or circumstances, and then we think that we're not changing and all of this sort of stuff. And the truth is that when you're able to deconstruct your reality from a place of love versus non-love, and see everything as a gift and a blessing, then you're literally able to start living as a creator of your own reality. And that's what self-mastery is. That's what the yogis have taught. That's what, God realization or self-realization has always been about. It's what all the religions started out talking about, was love. And a lot of people still think that love is this ridiculous human condition, and that you can get hurt by love, and that love can be painful and all of that. No, none of that's true. It's your attachments, it's your agendas, it's the non-loving choices that you make within that construct that is causing the difficulties, the pain, the suffering, the issues, the lack of peace, the anxiety, the depression, and all this other stuff. And then we walk around and we try and pacify it all, with addictions and television and drugs and medication and all of this sort of stuff. Yet the whole body is a self-healing and self-regulating system. Everything that the body tells you is telling it. Everything that happens in the body is telling you something. So if you have an emotion that comes up, a negative emotion, that negative emotion is telling you something about yourself. It's an opportunity to heal and address and change something so that you can step up and become even better, become even more of who you truly are, and to even summon more love and more peace and more godliness and divinity into you, and to become more of who you were truly born to be. I can see it so clearly. After having lived in ashrams and traveled the world, I've had some crazy experiences beyond what anybody could even possibly imagine. And the essence is always the same, and there's only one truth, and that truth is love. You focus on love versus non-love. It's simple. There is no gray zone, by the way. There is no gray zone. A lot of people put all these gray zone sort of stuff, and they put all these conditions. Okay, the gray zone is all the conditions we place on our actions, our thoughts, and our feelings, and how we interact. The only rule in the whole entire universe is love. And if every single human being on this planet chose love 100% in this moment, the whole world would completely transform. There wouldn't be this wide gap between the haves and the haves not. There wouldn't be pain and suffering. We wouldn't be hurting one another. We wouldn't be poisoning one another. We'd have empathy, would have compassion. We would learn from one another. We would share resources. We wouldn't damage the planet. We wouldn't damage ourselves. We wouldn't have addictions and all these other things. And the interesting thing is that a lot of people think, well, that spirituality, there is no rules for spirituality. This is the whole point. Spirituality doesn't care how you look, how your hair is. It doesn't care if you chant. It doesn't care about any of that. It's who you truly are. That's it. It's being authentically you and showing up each and every day as being the best possible human being that you possibly can be. And like I sort of said, what feeling would you rather have? Even if everything I said was a lie and wasn't even true and it was completely fabricated by my mind, right? Which it was, and is. That's the reality I would prefer to live. I don't know what reality you want to live, but every time that you're buying into the news and the negativity of your neighbors or your friends and your spouses and people that are in victim consciousness about their lives, then you're a victim. You become the victim too, because you allow that energy to affect you. You allow that non-love into you because you don't have a strong enough constitution and belief and resolution in who you truly are and the love that resides within you and that carries you and walks you to the degree that you allow it to. The whole manifestation thing, the whole law of attraction thing and all of that, that's all old school mumbo jumbo. It's actually all based in the illusion in the first place. You already are a master manifester. You created everything that you have. You also created everything that you don't have. You're already a master manifester. There's nothing you need to do to manifest. There is no tools and techniques to become a manifester and to manifest the reality that you want. There's only one thing: choose love. Because you already are everything. So when you allow yourself to tap into and to tune into everything, then everything that you are and that you need to manifest and create in your life will automatically come to you. Maybe not instantaneously, but over time. The only thing that you need to do is be clear on your intentions and what it is that you want out of life. Because that's where the incongruency is, where the problem is. A lot of people talk a good talk, but very few people actually apply the truth in their daily lives, and certainly not in the face of adversity. And that's where the problem lies. But listen, I could just go on and on about this topic, and obviously the topic is way more complex when it comes to application. Well, it sort of is and isn't, but actually it really isn't. But our minds do make it more complicated. The fact is that when you start harnessing love and you start consciously working with unconditional love and understanding that every moment I'm either choosing love or non-love, when you start really, really choosing love, it's going to flush up all the non-love inside of you. It's going to flush up all the pain, all the suffering, all the hurt, to be released, to be let go of, because it's not meant to be in your body anymore. It's the ultimate form of healing. And sometimes, we go to healers and different practices and different things to help us with those processes. It's not to negate. It's not this woo-woo thing of I just sit here and I'm going to become a multi-millionaire and I'm going to live to 1,000,000 years and completely heal my body of all ailments. No, there's certain things that you need to do in the physical plane because you are in a physical body. We're here for a specific experience. We're here as souls to learn about separation. You know what the coolest thing about separation is? The coolest thing about separation is it's a 50-50 thing. You're either one or you're separate. You're either black or you're white. You're either good or you're bad. You're either loving or you're non-loving. You're either fearful or non-fearful. That's it. You've got a 50-50 chance of getting things right. The problem is all the programming, the limitations, and all of the stuff that's in our heads and that are locked in ourselves through our emotional body and the trauma that we received as children and the programming and the filters that reinforced all of these separate, self-defeating, limited ways in which we perceive ourselves. So, having said that, if you feel, one of the things is that the coolest thing about all of this is it's free. It's free. You don't need to buy a course or a program. You don't need to do anything crazy. You don't need to do anything at all except to apply this. And it's free. Now it's not to say there might not be other tools and things that could assist you with this process. But what I'm saying is that the fundamentals of changing your life is simply a choice between love and non-love. And it doesn't cost anything, so there's no excuses. There's no excuses for you not living your best life. If you're meant to become a multi-millionaire and create a massive business and stuff, you can do that. The only person that's holding you back, or the only thing that's holding you back, is you. You're the only thing holding you back. It doesn't matter what your demographic is. Doesn't matter whether you're a male, female. It doesn't matter if you grew up in the Bronx or Mexico or a third world country or whether you were born, in the US or whatever else. It's just a different set of circumstances that you'll overcome as you become who you truly are. And those set of circumstances that you've created in your life are the ones that you specifically need so that you can become who you truly are and be able to help and serve others in that process. And it becomes impossible when you live from these principles to do things that are harmful to other people or to create businesses that are just, designed to just rip people off and to feed into, this scarcity mentality and this thing of unethical sort of salesy sort of stuff that goes online and the junk that we're sold, and you don't feel the need to have to constantly escape and avoid and buy all this useless stuff in order to pacify what's really going on inside of you. But the cool thing is that if you want support, you want help, you want me to help deconstruct specific situations and circumstances in your life that you're wanting to overcome. Maybe you've got relationship problems, maybe you've got health problems, maybe you want to launch a business and you're struggling with that. Maybe you just don't know what it is that you want, or you don't even understand who you truly are, but you want me to help you with that. Then, click on the link below or wherever and schedule a call with me. I'll get on the phone with you and I'll see what we can do to help you and how I can help you. One-on-one, I do have group events as well, and so forth. But at the end of the day, just based on the basic concepts that I've outlaid in this video, you are fully empowered and never have to do anything else ever again. You align with love, the quantum field, the oneness with God, whatever you want to call it, all that's good in the world, which makes you happy, makes you feel better, which then rubs off on everybody else around you. how can your life not become better? How can it not become better? How can you not have a smile on your face? Regardless of circumstance, regardless of situation. And look, there are some really, really heinous and bad things, that are happening on the world and experiences that people are going through. And this is not at all to dismiss all of that. There's a reason for everything. And the essence of the change is still the same, Every crime, every non-loving action is actually a cry for help. The word crime is an acronym for cry me. And when people exert and use their free will in order to repress, suppress, one-up, push people down and all of that sort of stuff, it's because of the insecurities and misplaced sense of self that they have. And that's okay. It's actually a sign of weakness. But most people will probably not believe that or dismiss that, and justify, look at all the things that I have and all of this sort of stuff. Listen, I've made multiple seven figures online over the last 20 years. I'm not like, am I a millionaire, multi-jillionaire or whatever else? No, because it's not about money in the first place. You see, how much money does someone need in order to feel fulfilled within themselves? I'll tell you how much money people need. The amount of money that they need to fulfill their mission and their purpose in life. That's how much money each individual needs. And each individual can and will create that if they align with who they are. And in some cases, you might end up being a billionaire. In other cases, you might not. But that's because you truly don't actually really need it or want it in the first place. You might not even know that yet. But anyway, I could just go on and on and on and on about this topic. The truth is that I'm going to be releasing daily videos on all sorts of different topics and tools and things like that you can implement into your life right now to transform who you truly are permanently. And that's all I want to do, is just help you in the ways that I have experienced and learned after walking with so many different amazing and awesome yogis and masters and teachers and scientists and all the different machinations of modalities out there. But the truth is that once you start aligning with love and you start looking at things from this perspective of loving versus non-loving, everything in your life will change, and it will change rapidly. Faster than anything else you could ever possibly imagine, because then you're in the flow, And the flow will pull you and take you on the journey that you need to go to. But it won't look the way that your mind thinks it needs to, because we like to restrict our ability to create, because we have these belief systems, the majority of which are limiting and serve no real valid purpose, especially if you repress them and pretend that they're not there and you don't feel the emotions. Energy in motion is emotion. You don't feel the emotions and let that energy move through you, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a future video. So anyway, God bless. Thank you. I appreciate you for watching this. Leave comments down below. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Let me know. Ask questions, and I will do my best to answer them in future videos, because as I said, I'm committed to wanting to do these every single day, in one way, shape, or form. And they won't all be this long, but this is really the essence of everything that I live for, everything that I breathe for, everything that the world is about. Because if you want to find heaven, heaven is on earth. It is heaven on earth. We have a beautiful planet here, and we have been gifted with such an opportunity to be able to live on this planet at this particular time where humanity is evolving, which I'll talk more about in another video, where humanity is evolving into understanding the principles and living from the principles of love, because it's a matter of survival. That's why. Because the old ways of being are over. And that's what we're seeing is playing out on the planet right now. Everything's being deconstructed, and there's a fight to hold on to the old ways. And those old ways are hurting us. It's causing anxiety, it's causing depression, it's causing illnesses, all these illnesses with no labels and no names and all these acronyms and everything like that. It's nothing more than resistance to change, resistance to choosing love, the resistance to seeing things as they truly are, and to truly empower yourself and to divine what it is and who you are meant to be on this planet, and what actions you need to take in each and every moment moving forward, which comes with clarity, and the clarity comes with love. So once again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you again.